Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to our stream. We're going to be covering some new things, obviously, with World Creator 3, but it's not going to be called World Creator 3 anymore. It's going to be based on the year. So this is the sort of announcement of it being renamed to World Creator 2021. I'm joined again by Stefan. And Stefan, how are you guys doing?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
I'm fine, thanks.
Awesome. Can everybody hear us okay? Let's see, hopefully we're all coming through perfectly fine. We have a good crowd this morning. Awesome. We can all hear all three of us. Good, good, and good. All right. So first up, we have an image here that's a steal from a special project. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Because it's been long awaited. And I already saw some comments about the short film coming in. But yeah, we're really, really late with the short film. And I saw the comments on YouTube. So no, it's not cancelled. No worries about that. It will come. We're actually almost finished. It's just about polishing last things, camera movements and rendering out stuff and all this. So it's really just a matter of a very, 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 very few weeks now. And it's not just a short film showcasing really awesome stuff and really awesome technology, which is a combination of multiple techs, like for using Cinema 4D, Octane, having SpeedTree included, substance stuff and all this Quixel stuff. Also World Creator for the terrain and all this. It's a huge story as well. It will have a pretty awesome story, which is told by someone, and it's also expected when we first officially announced World Creator 3 as a World Creator 2021. We just got to use it.
Gotta get used to that.
Yeah, I really got to use that. When the first official release is available, which will be summer. Okay, so it's really not far away anymore. And with the short film and the first release and all the stuff behind all this that we're going to talk about it today, it's really huge, and all needs to line up perfectly. So yeah, it's just amazing. I can't wait.
Oh, awesome. So what's the sort of like runtime? Like how long would it be, or if you're even allowed to say that yet?
You mean until we're going to release it finally?
No, like the length of the short film.
Oh, you mean the runtime of the short film? Well, it's about more than 3 minutes currently. So it's quite I would say quite long for a short film, but it's not final yet. We need to see how the cutscenes are done and all this stuff. But yeah,
and if each of the scenes in the short film are of this quality, because this is an amazing image,
it
guys did a great job. I just love it. I mean, it looks cinematic production. So if the whole thing is like this, of course everyone's going to be pretty excited, and you'll know that the whole thing was created as a base out of World Creator. And he said, use some SpeedTree trees in the short film.
Yes. SpeedTree is such an amazing tree library, whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Someone's like sexy vegetation. Yeah, you can do some sexy vegetation in this. Good shadow quality, all that stuff, and the rendering is fantastic. So I can't wait to see that and share it with everyone. So on to further things within our own pipeline here. There's with everything that's coming to World Creator 2021, in addition to the software being updated by itself, which we'll get to here soon, there's also some back-end updates to hopefully make some of the downloads and customer areas and portals and such work way more smoothly than it did before.
Right. Well, yeah.
Any additional thought to that?
Yeah, of course. Let me just think about a start. So actually, when we developed Work Creator, we didn't thought it would have been such a huge community support. We didn't even thought it would be such successful as it is, right? So it was more like, okay, let's sit together, develop something, and see how it works. We never thought like it's big, and it could be turned into much bigger. And now last year we saw that, and let's say during the last 3 or 4 years, we just saw, okay, the more people use it, it's just amazing how many large companies are using it, how an in-depth integration into current workflows was done by the companies as well. And that was the point where we of course realized that, okay, this is going to be huge, guys. So we need to really make it more professional, bring it more, make it more accessible to people, doing all the stuff that's around the entire application, around the entire code, because we're natively just programmers. So we have to think a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's where we thought, okay, now with the next release. Oh, interesting. Siri, I seem to say something Siri-like, and Siri just opened up. I have to put her away.
She's excited for this too.
Yeah, she's watching me. She's watching us all. Well, so it was kind of, it was like, okay, now with a new release and a new next major version of World Creator, it should be done really, 100%. Okay, so it should be really done absolutely perfect. So that's why we decided to, of course, write and developing our own game engine for World Creator 3, which is now 2021. Still okay. And not but only the game engine, it should be all done by us. So there's no, dependence on anything on anything else. Like I mean, code wise, it should be like the website should be done entirely new, because the website that we currently have, I mean, it's pretty nice. It's okay, but the backend system is not that flexible at all. So okay, just take the current one, drop it off, throw it away, and restart from scratch. The same for the customer portal, which is working. It's okay. It's working now, but it's not that. It's just not that perfect, right? So even this has to be done more professional. So I want, for example, the people to be able to manage their profile. I want them to be able to manage the seats they have. I want to be able to manage invoices. Download the invoice, see the invoice. Especially for the companies, it's so important that they not only just purchase, let's say, a license or 10 licenses, and they have to deliver the same email address to their employees. So it's like, now the company is going to purchase a license, and there's a manager backend, and like the manager of the account and the users of the licenses. So they can just set the user for the license and all this stuff. They can change that, they can drop it, whatever. So a really huge thing in the background. Then another thing you showed it here in the gallery is that I don't want to upload everything on my own, and I also want to mention the artist. As you can see here, it's currently Aaron Westwood doing this here. So it's like, we're gonna give the artists who are, how is it said, confirmed artists. Yeah, let's say it's a confirmed art. So I mean, people that we know and that we can trust. They will have an access inside their customer portal to upload images, and applying their logos or applying their name, so that people that go to the website have like a portfolio of this artist. Okay, so they exactly see it. They also can link to their ArtStation stuff and the Instagram and whatever. So a more personalized gallery for those. And yeah, it's more the Endo website is a pretty awesome connection now. The tutorial section, I mean, you're doing the amazing tutorials, and
they're okay.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's perfect. And yeah, so this is also I mean, we want to have everything from one, let's say one brand, right? So you're doing the tutorials for us again, and we will listen perfectly, and it just will. It's hard to explain. It would just integrate into the website very, very fluently.
Yeah, these are just screenshot stills of the website, but it's coming along pretty well. And as you said, they've done a whole lot of work on the back end to make the portal and log in and all of your licensing and everything work well. And like you said, the seats and stuff, but it has definitely come a long way. And like I say, you have your own profile page. It'll be a little bit more seamless and user friendly. And I think being user friendly is the key target here, exactly. and being able to find exactly what you need to find and distribute it however you need to distribute it.
Right. And also, I mean, the logo has completely changed.
Yeah, it's a tad bit different.
Yeah,
it's not too different, but it's
logo, the green one. Yeah. So yeah.
Also, did you have anything else before I go to the next slide?
Sure.
Gotcha. All right. So, and additionally into the website. Oh yeah, you have also a lot of people that are a lot of companies that you guys are trying to connect with and whatnot and utilize World Creator even now. So this is really cool to see that sort of the excitement that everyone has, come to you guys on using even World Creator 2. I mean, I know a lot of people that are still using World Creator 2 at this point because it has export functions and all that.
Here, I mean, especially here, I want that if people go to the logo and click on the logo, then they should see how's it said, a review. Yeah, it's a review with probably some images from the projects that are already released, or where we have you are allowed to show, right? So this is on the marketing page, of course. I mean, this is from the marketing side, so more opening to the people, showing, look at this, how it was done, where it was used, and all that stuff. Yeah,
of course. Also, this little screenshot on the website is talking about procedural meets design and design meets AI. So what exactly does this mean? Of course,
it means that WordCreator 2021 will have AI support included, and the AI support is it's really a huge thing, right? So it's nothing trivial. You really have to know what you're doing, actually. We're working on this for months now, and it is still a quite difficult task, but we got pretty awesome results. So I mean, what I want to say is that basically everything works with it. We have just a little bit of quality issues currently. We have some artifacts, else I would have shown already. I mean, for the stream, I was planned that, okay, let's show some AI screenshots, but they don't look like as I want them to be. So
yeah, we want to make sure that when we do showcase the AI, that it looks at its most pristine state.
The image is always the image that people will talk about, right? So I want this to be really good. So I just told them that, okay, no, we're not going to show it. It's not perfect, and but that's not a big deal, actually, because we can do another stream and then we can show the AI in and out. So the AI currently is used for the erosions, actually. So the idea was to train a system that applies absolute natural and absolute realistic erosions on the terrain. The issue is, the more realistic we do the things and the more natural they should look like, the more performance is required.
Right. So maybe there's something where you can control sort of how many stages or how many rounds of realism. So like you run the AI for say 1 cycle and it looks this way, or you run it for 10 cycles and it looks even more real. Kind of like, when you add samples to rendering, the more samples you add, the more realistic it is. So maybe there's I'm probably just speaking out of line here. Maybe it could be like that, where you get to control sort of how far you want it to go, so you're not losing out resources.
Well, the AI actually does the stuff in milliseconds now. It's really fast. It's really, really fast. It's incredible fast. Okay.
Yeah.
The performance from the AI point is not a problem. The problem is if we do that on the GPU with the let's say using the standard techniques that are currently available, doing it more realistic and all that stuff, we are going to lose the real time part of World Creator 3 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a no-go. So this is where we said, no, we can't do that, because you have 30 filters that work in real time, and then you have one filter that just breaks the entire real time stuff. So it does make sense to have this.
Right.
I mean, for low scale terrain, this might work pretty good, but if you're doing a 4K terrain or 8K terrain, and because we are adding tiling into World Creator 2021, where you add tiles to the terrain, so you can just create a vast terrain. We can't do the all that erosion stuff on the AI on the GPU anymore like this, because then everything just gets slower, and this is what I don't want.
Yeah.
So the solution for this was like, let's see what AI can do on this end. The most difficult part on the AI stuff is to train the system, training, creating the network, actually, and training the system with the proper data and combining the proper data so that you get the results that you want. So we actually fed about 25,000 different real world maps and World Creator maps, and also other maps from other terrain generators, and
just to teach the AI how different ways. Mm-hmm.
Just to teach it. And yeah, the AI, it took months to teach it. But we have amazing results. So it's really like you get outstanding quality within, currently it's about it was 4 milliseconds for a 1K terrain. So this is outstanding, actually. And the good about this system is because it just integrates perfect into the level step system of World Creator. Because in World Creator, and what it really makes so cool, actually, is like you don't need to calculate the highest levels,
right?
And the filters actually work pretty awesome if you use an input height map, but you're not working on the highest resolution. So you just let the procedural stuff doing on the lower level, right? You have the general rough shape, and you can just increase the precision, giving you outstanding results. And this is what we're going to do with the AI. So we don't need the highest resolution for the AI stuff, because you just need the general flows and general, the erosion part. And the rest, if you have this base stuff, the World Creator's rest of the filters are doing it perfectly.
Naturally.
Yeah, and that's what's all about. So we will have neural filters. So that's how we call them. The first neural filter will be an erosion filter to finally fill the gap, where people say the erosions of World Creator not that perfect. So we're going to close this with this one, and it will be still real time, though. That's absolutely outstanding. And the neural filters will be, of course, later extended. So we're going to have neural filters for terraces, for canyons, for alien stuff, even for craters. So we might have neural filters for every filter that we have currently on the GPU, might be completely transferred over to an AI system. And the results will be absolutely, just crazy, because you can't make things more real than the reality, actually, right? But you still have the artistic freedom using the legacy filters afterwards, or just using the design tools. So it's just a perfect combination, actually. And we're going to bring this even further, because the AI basically was used to introduce a new workflow in World Creator 2021. where the basic idea was that you paint your terrain in 2D, roughly using colors, and the AI is going to transform it into a real looking terrain. So if you use, for example, if you're using brown color for the hills or for the mountains, you're having some green stuff, or you just paint something with blue, then WorldCreator is going to create a river with all the deltas, because the AI was taught to do that, depending on on the formation, or let's say the occurrence of the other biome types like grass, forests, mountains, and all that stuff. We're still going to add this workflow. This is one of the things we're going to add later this year. So it will be a completely new design approach. You can a little bit compare it to what NVIDIA showed with with images done by the colors. That's quite popular, I think, where people just draw some green for grass and some for the mountains, or some, and the AI turns it into a masterpiece of artwork.
Yeah, and that could be part of the sort of like the presets that are coming. So say you are up in the air and you're painting in a tan area, and you allocate that tan area for the desert preset biome, and that preset has some of the AI filters in line with it, and it just works.
Yeah, exactly. But the AI will also not just transform the terrain; it's also going to be used to set up the biomes automatically for you. Okay, so there will be a really cool hierarchical initial biome setup that you can just use, and the same AI stuff is going to also be used for the texturing. So imagine that you don't have to use selectors and all the distributions and all those effects to texture your terrain, but instead, I mean, you still will be able to do that, of course, but instead you could also just use the AI and tell the tell the AI, okay, do texturing based on samples like from Earth, okay? So it's more like an Earth-like planet or Earth-like part of the terrain that you are texturing. It will require some more parameters as an input, temperature, and all that stuff. Or you could do some moon-like stuff, or do some Mars-like stuff, or do some whatever kind of alien stuff, or do just some sort of a stylistic terrain stuff. And one of the next steps with the AI will be that we're gonna it's like an initial test case. It's like we're gonna have a server with the network. It will be a different network from what we're going to deliver, and that network could be trained by the customers or by the users of WorldCreator. So they can sign up for it, okay, and they are feeding the global AI stuff for the terrains with the terrains that they are creating. For example, you're going to do some artistic terrain or just a stylized terrain, then you feed it the AI for the stylized terrain, and that AI gets stronger with every generation you do, and because you're generating in real time, it could be really fast learning stuff, right? So it's like an AI system that is, it's going to grow over weeks, over months, over years, giving better and better results.
Exactly. And I'd like to point in there that the AI system isn't going to remove your creativity if you've already had something pre-planned. Think of the AI, because the AI system, as a filter. It's an additional thing that would allow you to enhance. So if you're the person that wants to have your entire landscape generated for you like Minecraft, then you can probably do that. Or if you want to sketch and sculpt and custom create your own terrain, but use the AI as a filter based add-on to further enhance what you've already predefined done, then you can do that. Don't think of the AI system as something as one or the other. It's an additional tool to go along with what else you're doing.
Exactly.
The big picture is like a wizard where you can just pick out some features like the biome set. For example, you want to create a desert or Nordic wood or stuff like that, and that you just paint stuff, and from just a few clicks and very little paintings, you just click create, and hopefully that's the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the AI will create a picture perfect triple A environment for you in just milliseconds. That is a big picture, but again, it is always an addition. It is like a wizard. You can choose if you want to generate your landscape the usual way, or if you just want to create a wizard, or if you just want to do this additionally to your well-known workflow.
Use it both, leave it, whatever you want. I mean, this is one of the things. I mean, even for the design stuff, we don't make any difference between like either you're just sculpting or you're just using filters. It's always a combination.
Exactly. And this all ties back to what I said earlier about trying to not only make the website user-friendly, but World Creator 2021 user-friendly. So anything that you want to do, you should be able to make it. Like even a comment of using World Creator as not even for a terrain generator, but just a micro or detail for a rock generator, creating these really detailed texture maps to apply UVs to a shape of a rock or something. I mean, there's more to it than just terrains too, which is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, the height map or the terrain surface is one thing, right? I would say the AI doing here is just like transforming it into something real, right? But it really comes interesting if it comes to texturing, because texturing takes a lot of time, right?
Right.
So if you have an AI doing an amazing texturing which is not repeatable, or it doesn't look procedural, I mean, this is the point where things are getting really interesting. And the same for vegetation. I mean, once we have the vegetation stuff included in World Creator 2021, think of it like the AI is not just going to place trees; it's going like, where is the forest growing, and how is the forest spreading on the terrain? Where is grass? Depending on additional data. So this is like, it's an automatic, instant stuff that you get information you don't really have to care about, but you just can use afterwards the tools to manipulate or just to adjust it as you want. And the interesting about this is, again, that if because I was talking about that online AI stuff, think of it like, if you I mean, this is not a must, but if you want to, it's like you can participate and you can train the system like a individual network that learns how you are doing the stuff, and of course offers you the stuff as you are doing. It's like if you go on, let's say, if you go on a website, right, and you're just googling around or searching for stuff, and then you go into Facebook, and then you wonder because you see an ad of something that you were visiting before, and you're asking yourself, where does Facebook know what I was viewing, right? It could be the same for the AI. Like, I'm generating stuff like this, so I get a result like this, and if I want, I have that AI in the back end that learns from my from my kind of workflow, and it offers you results, right, that are similar to your work, or into the approach you're going.
Right. It's kind of like I know I've caught myself making the exact same filter settings and filter stacks the exact same way on multiple projects, because I know that result works fine. So if one, you set a preset for that and get it done instantly, or two, you train your own personal AI that say, hey, I want to apply like this style that's got my name and style attached to it. It just runs it, So, yeah. So anyway, so that is the sort of announcements that we had for the AI system. I hope you guys are excited to see more on that. I know I am, and definitely know that we'll be covering that once it's available, like we do everything. So it's going to be a fantastic additional feature to all of your features now. So stay tuned for that. And obviously we'll be able to showcase that as soon as it's available. All right. So the next thing I wanted to run for you guys is a little clip on something else that is coming to World Creator 2021.
Yeah, so this is one of the really amazing news that we have is we're talking with RD Textures, and they have, not to say, one of the best library that I've seen regarding all the texturing stuff in this, right? So we've been talking to them, and the idea was that when we ship World Creator 2021, we want to have a basic package, but a basic package that has all amazing, fantastic textures, and we want to be that. Actually, we want that it is already textures. The plan is that World Creator 2021, when released, and everyone purchase it and all this, that they get access to a huge texture library from RD Textures. So I'm going to say you the number of textures that we have. It's about 120 textures. So this is what we've included with the World Creator 21 purchase, which means even the purchase might be worth just the textures if you don't have those. It's just absolutely amazing. And we have the deal, and it's just totally crazy. So this is where I say that's pretty cool for the people that want to, starting World Creator, want to create some pretty awesome stuff. They don't have to, care about texturing issues, because the library that we offer is really, really huge. And they are, of course, not only it's not only inside World Creator. That's and this is really the interesting part, right? Is they're royalty free for you, so you can use the textures in your projects as well, and no one is going to ask you about that. Okay, and that's really cool. So, you're not allowed to sell the textures, that's for sure, but you can use them inside your projects. And so what we want is that people using World Creator have all the tools available if they're further going to other tools to render out scenes, so that the renders look fantastic, just from the terrain shape side, and also from the texturing side as well. Yeah, actually, this opens up for the artists. Pretty amazing stuff, and it's really cool. We're really mega proud about this.
Oh yeah, it's really good to have a set that's already included. The other thing is the other corporation you wanted to leak or not?
Well, it's not a corporation yet. It's
right.
About,
it's still in the works. It hasn't been finalized, but
yeah, it has to be finalized. But we've been talking about it. So we were asked by all. It's really huge thing, It's like every day we get 5-6 emails about this, but people asking for Substance integration into World Creator, and so we contacted Substance, and they were open to talk about it and all this. And yeah, we're about to evaluate it so we can see how it fits into World Creator. And if everything goes well, then there's a really high chance that we get a Substance integration into World Creator, which means that all your Substance materials that you have, you can use them inside World Creator as well then. And that's really huge, guys. So this is really fantastic, because it's not just about the colors. It's just about also the parameters that you could adjust, modify inside World Creator. And if you do a render out of World Creator, it's like you don't have those repeating textures anymore. You have textures that just fit perfectly depending on the terrain surface. How's it said? About yeah, you know, depending on the macro information of the terrain surface as well, because it's parameterized. So this could be used to change the change the texture input slightly to create a different look. And this is really amazing. This is really cool. I just can't wait until we have this included and see how it works. And of course, this is also real time. Think about this. This is really something cool. So, which also means like if you're going to export your terrain, like for Cinema 4D and for Octane, right? You don't have to do all the wiring to set up things again, because you're using different textures or different materials, right? That you use in World Creator. So when you export stuff and you use Substance, it will be just equal, So what you see in World Creator will be the same, meaning wise, like for the rendering, not the quality of the rendering, because Octane's rendering quality is outstanding. But you will have the same results in meanings of the setup, right?
Right.
So we'll be just improving your workflow even more, and that's just fantastic. It's really extremely awesome. I can't hype it anymore. It's just like fantastic. Yeah.
So let's hope that that pipeline goes out and we can have that sort of integration. Because I know even if you have an account with, say, Substance Designer and you create your own, you can create your own tools, create your own material functions, and probably use those as substance files within World Creator 3. And I would imagine, instead of like, is the RD textures built into a library that you would have to download like you did World Creator 2, or is it just that you get access to those textures and you would apply them manually, like you would have to select the texture that you want to apply each time?
You mean regarding the RD textures?
Yes.
This depends. More information about this. Yeah, it depends. It's because, sometimes there are people that purchase something, right? And stuff, and then they do a claim on the bank and just want the money back. So it's not like this is it's actually it is a difficult thing. We can't deliver the 120 just as is on the fly. So it will be like expected, like you get a bunch of textures per day or per month. You choose to download. So yeah, we're gonna clear up this later on, so we can do another stream about this once we reach a point, and so I can tell a lot more about this.
Yeah, no worries. Approach. Of course, there's all sorts of licensing talk that you guys have to do on the back end that we're not involved with, which is perfectly reasonable. But in line with if Substance, for example, gets implemented, then it's all parametric. You can adjust those things. I would assume if you created your own substance that was in Substance Designer that was intentional for utilizing, instead of utilizing a substance strictly for texturing, what about using a substance strictly for having that as like your own sort of height map filter, like being able to apply just that as a displacement for the whole terrain? Because sometimes you can get some really interesting things with Substance Designer's pipeline just for creating meshes, basically.
Right. Well, actually, we're gonna have support for the height maps, for the for the displacement maps. So of course, it's just a one click to fit to fit it to the entire terrain size, and then you have your displacement on the terrain as well. This is no problem.
Good deal.